Hi, and welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to start working on our crafting bench. Inside of my inventory system, where I have my master item, I'm going to create a child out of my master item. This is going to be my master crafting bench, and I can open that up. My master crafting bench will have the same functionality as the other one, so we need the inventory component. This one's going to be my crafting bench result slot. Next one, another inventory component. This is going to be my crafting bench craft slots. I'm also going to add a static mesh into this crafting bench. Result slot is 1 by 1. The craft bench is going to be 9 maximum, 3 max horizontal. We are following Minecraft to the dot here, basically. That's what we're trying to do. The mesh, I'm going to not set anything on this one because this is the master. Inside of my structs and enums on my crafting, it's kind of stupid that we have it over here actually, because we're not going to spend too much time over here. But we are going to do it here anyway. I'm going to duplicate this one, and this is my crafting recipes 3 by 3. Same as the ones before. Inside my master crafting bench, now I can add crafting bench recipes 3 by 3. And that is going to be of type 3 by 3. Like so. This one, we're going to make editable and exposed on spawn, I think. We might not need that as an array as well, by the way. It requires our class defaults. It requires class settings, sorry. It requires our interface, our interact. We have that right? Yeah, we have that. When we interact with it, we are going to set our player ref to be a full variable. We're going to set up some references, okay? So inside of our content inventory system interface, inside of our WBP inventory, inside of my graph. So inside of my WBP inventory, as I said, I want a reference to my crafting bench. So I'm going to make a crafting bench ref. This is going to be of type crafting bench master class reference. Inside of my master crafting bench, I can use my player ref to get a hold of my HUD ref, to get a hold of my inventory, to then set the ref, the player, not the player crafting, the bench ref, get class. Let's plug in the class over there. So now we have a reference to our class. Then what we can do is over on my player screen, let's see how that looks over here. Now we have our widget switcher. Are we using index 1? Yeah, so this is our index 1, our small storage container. We are going to be using a third one. I'm going to add a horizontal box into my widget switcher. This one I'm going to call my crafting bench. My crafting bench will contain 2 uniform grid panels. There. First one, variable. It's going to be my crafting bench grid panel. Second one is going to be my crafting bench result grid panel. Both variable. Now inside here, we can now get our HUD ref and get our player inventory. Get the widget switcher. Now we're going to set active index to be that of 2. Let's head back into our WBP inventory again, into our graph. Now let's make it a function. This is going to be my generate crafting bench crafting slots. Inside of this one, crafting bench grid panel. This one, get clear, same as always. Then we're going to get our crafting bench ref. Problem is we can't actually do this in a class reference. We need to change this out. We need this to be a master crafting bench object reference. So we got our reference there. Side of this. Now we're going to get our HUD ref. No, we're not going to get our crafting bench ref, as I said before. Get the craft slots, crafting bench craft slots. Get the refs, and we're going to clear those. Then we're going to get our craft slots. We're going to get our contents. And we're going to do a for each loop. For each of these, we're going to create widget. We're going to create the inventory slot, and now we need some more variables here as well. So on this one, we're going to make two new booleans. First one is going to be a craft bench slot, editable and expose and spawn. Second one, a craft bench result slot, editable and exposed and spawn. Back here on our WP inventory, we can now refresh this. This is going to be a craft bench slot. Index goes into index, hard ref, we have that here. Inventory is our that one. Get our slots, get our refs, add to that array. Then we need to get our crafting bench grid panel. Where is it? Crafting bench grid panel. Add child to uniform grid. Content. Get my craft slot. Get my max horizontal. Divide that. So division, array index, max horizontal. Oh, dividend, sorry. There we go, divisor. Column. And that is it for the generation of the crafting bench slots. Now back into our crafting bench. When we interact with it and we set the widget index, actually we might want to generate this before, but I'm just going to do it here now. Generate crafting bench slots. Back in our WP inventory, I can duplicate this one. This is going to be my generate crafting bench result slot. Crafting bench result grid panel. It's into there. The bench ref. Out from this, we need to get our out from our crafting bench, we need to get our result slot. Plug that into the slot refs. Oh, like so. Then out from the result slot, you can get contents. And I'm just going to plug it in there. And then the inventory ref is the result slot. Hard ref is the same. This is not a bench slot. This is a crafting result slot. Get our slot refs. Add it to it, like so. Content is fine. Get our crafting result grid panel. Add it there. And plug in our horizontals like so. If I go to the back to the master crafting bench, now I can also generate result, crafting result slot, crafting bench result slot. Once that is done, I'm going to get my player controller. I'm going to set input mode game and UI. The widget I want to focus on, I'm going to get my player ref, get first focus widget, same as we did before, like so. I'm not going to hide during capture. Out from the player controller, set show mouse cursor. Be true, and this time I'm not going to toggle the inventory because we don't want it to go back to index 0. So I'm going to get my HUD ref from my player ref. I'm going to get my player screen, player inventory. I'm going to set visibility to be visible. This should fire off when I interact. Now I don't really have anything to interact with. I just do a static mesh here. I'm just going to do this cylinder. It's fine with me. Now I can get my crafting bench out. And now I can interact with it. Doesn't look like I want it to, so let's go into our WP inventory. Bench is looking fine. Crafting bench grid panel. I'm going to set it to auto, and then I'm going to center that. The grid panel is going to be fill, stretch, center. Beautiful. So that now is spawning that in as we want it to. And our chest is still working, and we can go into there. Yeah, awesome. Now, inside of my inventory slot, I just went to the inventory slot over here. Instead of my click event, we have some things here. I'm not going to fuck around too much with the right one. This is if it's a player crafting slot. If it is not a player crafting slot, I want to check if it's a craft bench slot. If it is not a craft bench slot, I'm going to keep going. If it is, we're going to update the craft bench. So we're going to get our update crafting player, and we're going to duplicate that to update crafting bench. Instead of update crafting bench, we're going to get our, we're going to remove, yeah, we're going to remove, actually we're going to go out from here. We're going to get our HUD ref. I'm going to get my inventory. I'm going to get my crafting bench ref. And I want to make sure that it is valid before I keep moving forward. If it is valid, player ref, no, I'm going out from this. Yeah, I'm going to go there. Get inventory. Get crafting bench ref. Get slots. Crafting bench craft slots. Get the refs of the contents. And then we're going to loop through that. Get all. And this local is still valid. Yeah. Craft local contents. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so we can go on. On our HUD ref, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to get my inventory. I'm going to get my crafting bench ref. And then I'm going to get my 3x3 from that. Can't do it like this, okay? For each loop with break. Can't do it with that because it's a 3x3. It's not the same array. Plug that in. I'm going to plug in the break. And I'm going to plug in the completed. I'm going to go up here. And I'm just going to change it out while I go. Yeah, we can just remove that. And this 2x2 we can remove as well. We're going to get our cost. We're going to loop through the cost. Checking if everything is okay. Now I'm going into my player for a quick second. And in here, I'm going to duplicate recipe to craft. I'm going to call it recipe to craft 3x3. Making sure that it's a 3x3. And back into my slot. On my after crafting bench, I can remove these. I can get my HUD ref. Get my player ref. I can get set recipe to craft big. If it is false, we already know it's going to be nothing. If it is true, I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to plug it into the first for each loop again. Same as before. It's true. Then we're going to break. So we can just plug that into the break there. Just move this one down. I'm going to duplicate this. Again, you can do this in a loop if you prefer. I'm just going to go like this. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And that's actually bullshit. It's 8. It's 0 to 8. That's 9. And let's expand this again to allow for the other inputs. Like so. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If that is okay, then we're gonna go there. 3 by 3. Okay, beautiful. Now from our player ref, we're now gonna get 3 by 3. Break that. Check if the class is valid of the final item. And duplicate that down there. Plug final item into item. Final quantity into quantity. The false, you can remove this. Get your player ref. No, get your player inventory. Get your crafting bench result slot ref. Yeah. Well, that's the player crafting result. Okay, we haven't actually made that. Over on the inventory, when we generate crafting bench result slot, remember on the crafting bench here, we set that up. We also want the same for this one. So crafting bench result slot ref WBP inventory slot. I can set that here. Pile back into my my inventory slot. Now I can get my player inventory. I can get my result slot ref crafting bench. I can get the inventory from that. Plug that into the target. That's going to stay as 0 and blank. And then the crafting inventory result slot is going to get the crown craft plugged into it like so. Copy that, move it up there. This is all good except for this one, which goes there. File and save. And that should be it for that. Let's go to a click event again. If it's a craft bench slot, I want to update craft bench. And then continue. Then we are checking if this is this. Then let's move this out even more. Going into another branch. We're checking if it's a crafting bench result slot. If it is not, continue. Or if it is, then we're going to craft. So make it a function. Actually, can we duplicate our player craft? Probably. Let's duplicate player craft. Call this one R. Craft. Bench craft. Player craft and bench craft, right? So on bench craft, we're going to get our player ref. We're going to get our 3 by 3. Break that. Set the cost, same as before. Can craft is false. Yada yada. If it's true, yada yada. The pickup widget, can craft. All is fine. Over on the end here, we have our cash cost, everything's fine. We now need to get our crafting bench ref. Where is that? Hard ref, get inventory. Get bench ref. Crafting bench ref. Get the slots. Crafting bench slots. Get the ref. And that goes into this one right here. Get item info at index should come from the crafting slots. Set item info at index should go into there as well. This target should go into there as well. And that should theoretically be it for a craft. Back in our click event, if it's a crafting result slot, we want to bench craft, and then we want to return. On drag detected, here we have a if it's a player crafting result slot. If that is true, we go up there. If it is false, we want to check if it's a craft bench result slot. If it is not, we can just go down. Also, I just realized you could just do it like this and then set dragged, and then you can go back down there, and then we could do the same up here for the other one. However, for consistency, I'm just going to go like that. So that should be fine. Okay, that should theoretically be fine. Now we need a way to update. So over on our inventory slot, on our event graph, we have already one update here. Now we're gonna update crafting bench. We have that there. That should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. You just plug that in. And our third person character, recipe to craft is fine. On our master crafting bench, recipe, I'm gonna add a dummy recipe. I'm not gonna type anything except for that. Select something that I can see properly. Roses, I don't know what the fuck that is. Remember, I need to add all of the slots, so 0 to 8. I'm just gonna do stone in first one. I'm gonna do wood 200. Stone, I said in the first one. Yeah, it didn't work. Okay, let's see why that is. Let us see why that is. Okay, so in our in here, remember we are checking if it's a in the ore selection here. We haven't actually passed through if it's a craft bench slot or if it's a craft bench result slot as well. Now go to play. There we go. That gives us the craft bench. Now let's set up another test as well while we're at it. I'm going to do stone. So stone, 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 first row. And I'm going to do wood, wood, wood in the second row. And then, yeah, I'm just going to do blank in the other one. So 0, 0, 0. No, 1, 1, 1, sorry. So 3 woods, 3 stones. Stones in the top, I think I said. So, and there we go. That's our crafting bench as well. So let me just test it for a second here. So wood, stone is in the top. I have 2 there, so that's going to leave 1 to over. This one is going to leave 99. There we go. So that's it for that. Now, I'm going to clear out this crafting bench recipes, and we are going to try something. So I'm going to remove my master bench. I'm going to go back to my inventory system, and I'm going to right click on my master bench. Actually, folder, crafting, right click on my master bench, and this is going to be my crafting bench. Simple. Just the simple crafting bench. Putting that into crafting. And in my simple crafting bench, now I can add my recipes up here. Right? You can ignore the item info because we don't necessarily use that. I'm going to add let's add an anvil. I think quick last that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I added 2 different anvils. For this is my first anvil. It's a very simple one. And then I'm going to duplicate this crafting bench simple. And I'm saying crafting bench advanced. And crafting bench advanced is going to, I'm going to open that as well. Static mesh, anvil, and I got another anvil of some sort. So now we have our crafting bench simple, and we have our crafting bench advanced. Now this advanced one is going to be massive to represent that it's advanced. And let us go into crafting bench simple. In here, I am going to add a recipe. I'm going to call this one simple chest. I don't know. I'm not gonna not going to be too descriptive. It's just to see if it works with multiples, right? 7, 8. This one is going to cost wood 1, wood 1. Then I'm going to go over the fourth one. Wood 1, wood 1. The fourth one is the middle one, right? Wood 1. This is going to give me a... Yeah, let's say that this is going to give me the advanced crafting bench then. Okay, so advanced crafting bench. But I don't actually have a visual representation of the master crafting bench, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do stone, and I'm going to do 100 stone. Stone generator. Right. If I now go into advanced, and then I can say massive stone generator. And then I'm going to do granite, and I'm going to do the cost. So I'm going to do 8 of those. It's going to cost the same. I'm just going to expand and do all of these at once. Actually, it's not going to cost the same. It's going to have wood in all slots. Wood 1. Let's see. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. This is a bad representation because our stones aren't technically stackable, but it's just to show a point. So now we have 2 different crafting benches with 2 different recipes. We can have multiple recipes, of course. This one is wood in all, and this one is wood in all except for the middle one. Let's go here. I'm going to add wood, 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 and that gives us our stone. If I add wood in all, so that's going to be the other one, right? If I do wood in all, that's not going to do anything on this one. If I go over to this one, wood in all. It's actually 2 wood, sorry. That's my bad. Doesn't actually fire off. Oh, wood in all. Oh my god, dude, I'm stupid. Yeah, wood in all. It does fire off. And yeah, that's it for that. Now, I did notice that I can't actually interact with these with my Xbox controller. So let's do that. In my project settings, in my input, I am going to make a new action mapping. I'm going to call this one interact and place. It's going to be the right mouse button. I'm going to add another input as well. It's going to be my left trigger axis. So now, if I go into my third-person character, oh, there we go. There's my interact. So I can just right-click, interact, and place. On interact and place. It's going to be very similar to the interact function. It's actually going to be the same. I'm just going to move this down here. And in my interact, we're going to check if we have the interface, right? If we have the interface, I'm going to cast to master crafting bench. And then we're gonna crafting bench ref. Do I need that here? I do not think we need the crafting bench ref here. However, we are gonna promote it to a local for now. So local crafting bench ref. And then we're gonna interact. This is if it's a crafting bench. Actually, what am I doing? What am I doing? Yes, we have our interact, like so. We just moved it down. If I now go here, I can now start playing, and I can use my Xbox controller to interact with the different things. So now that we have both of our crafting benches, we can start putting in items. I need more. And 2 in all. It's going to give us the big one. There we go. And the other one had a recipe of, I think it was 1 in all around it. Yeah, there we go. That's it for our crafting system as well. There might be some bug videos coming up as well. And yeah, we might need to add some more functionality to this as well. Maybe our armor slots is going to be next. But until then, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.